The world's a dangerous place. Get the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. A laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way.
Celebrating Memorial Day weekend as we remember our fallen heroes who have died defending our freedom. This is Gun Talk.
We got a lot of things to talk about this hour of Gun Talk, and of course you can be a part of that. Just give us a holler, 866-TALK-GUN. But one thing I want to do is I like to have people on who are using guns, firearms, the outdoors to, well, basically to help other people, especially to help kids. And a few days ago, I was able to do exactly that. We were able to grab Matt Light, who, of course, left tackle with the New England Patriots, Super Bowls, Pro Bowls, all of that. But you might be surprised what he is doing and where and when he got started helping youngsters. Here's that conversation I had with Matt Light. It's always great when we can see somebody who is a giant in the sports world, who is very involved with working with youngsters, working with kids, and also working with the outdoors and firearms and safety and responsibility. And we're joined right now by truly a giant in the football world. Matt Light joins us. Matt, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, and it's good to talk to you again.
Absolutely. 10 years with the Patriots, huh?
Well, I had 10 years in a lockout, and then we came out of the lockout, and I thought, you know what, I might as well go for 11. So ended up with 11 and darn near won another one in Indianapolis, but we fell short again to those pesky Giants.
Yeah. No, so how many Super Bowl rings is that for you?
I tell you, I was very fortunate in my career. I was able to win 3 of them, and that came really early in my career, so I guess you could say I was spoiled. And then, we had just some unbelievable teams throughout, the 2001, 2011 years, just unbelievable moments with the 5 Super Bowls and enjoyed every moment that I had with those guys.
Yeah, and of course, at Purdue, you got to work with, I'm down here in Louisiana, just outside New Orleans, you got to work with Drew Brees, which is always a fun deal.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, and I know that the people of New Orleans and Louisiana, everybody down south that's a Saints fan, they know what they've got in a guy like Drew Brees. He is the real deal. I was fortunate, again, to be able to play with him through college. We had some unbelievable years, kind of rewrote the history books for the Big Ten with our, West Coast style offense. Mm-hmm. And he, what he does for the community, I'll tell you, it's as impressive as anything that he does on the field.
Well, you're right about that, but that kind of brings me full circle to what you're doing. You actually, and with the Light Foundation, obviously Matt Light, the Light Foundation, you and your wife got this thing started really almost immediately after you got into the NFL, didn't you?
We did, and I think it came from the fact that both of us, grew up in the Midwest, and we didn't, we didn't have any of these, great aspirations to do, big things. Right? I mean, really, we came from a working class environment, and whatever we got to do to pitch in and help out, and it's not, the I, it's the we, and all the things that really the football world represented, and I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. And so, when we had an opportunity to go to New England and we had, just an unbelievable first year, and we won a Super Bowl, and we just started thinking about how thankful we were for all the opportunities. We decided to do something with that. And that's really where the Light Foundation was created, was, that thought process and that mindset.
I'm reading a description. It says the Light Foundation, a nonprofit organization that exists to give at-risk kids a better chance at leading healthy lives by using the great outdoors to learn and grow. So what do you do with these kids?
We have a host of different programs. I guess it all starts with our facility. We've got a state-of-the-art 600-acre facility located outside of my hometown of Greenville, Ohio. And at that facility, we host a number of our programs that we've created from scratch over the years. And we use the outdoors to really open up kids' minds and to, show them that, hey, there's a different way of doing things than what you're probably used to doing, and what you see on TV and what the, public perception is about kids these days. We we take a lot of pride, take a lot of pride in what we do and how we do it. And that facility hosts our cultural leadership camps where we bring kids in from all over the country, and we teach them about life skills. The big thing with our foundation is that we like to say that we're real. We're responsible, we're ethical, we're accountable, and at the end of the day, we're helping these young people become better leaders within their own community. So, we also have a host of other things we do with our scholarships and our football camps, and then the real icing on the cake is that our facility is open to any other nonprofit that wants to work with kids.
Wow.
and needs a facility like ours. So it's multifaceted, but at the end of the day, look, when you spend time with young people and you show them that there's another way of doing things, and hey, it ain't going to be easy, but if you stick with it and you work hard, good things will happen to you. That's what we're all about.
You often will hear youngsters say something's hard. What they actually are telling you, well, it's impossible, because a lot of them equate something being difficult with being impossible, and they need to be re-educated to where hard just means you have to work hard to get it.
You're right. It's amazing. As a father of four, it is. I know the challenge. I know what the challenge is as a parent now. I've got a 12-year-old, and I got two. I got my 12-year-old daughter. I got a 13-month-old daughter, and I got two knucklehead boys that are sandwiched, right in between them.
Right.
And it is very difficult to be a parent these days, and trying to hold your kids accountable and trying to push them to do more. And are you being too tough on them and all that kind of stuff? But our kids these days, they're used to having things through the drive-through window. If it doesn't come easy, then it's not worth doing. And hey, I might not even be able to attain it, even if I tried. But our task, I think, I feel like I'm getting older, and I know you've been through it more than I have. But I think our task is to kind of hit the reset button and pump the brakes a little bit and say, hey, look, we can't all be winners. We're not all supposed to have a ribbon. We're not all going to get a bailout from the government. You got to work hard, and you got to take your lumps, and you got to learn along the way. And if you do that, you'll be far better off than those people that got it the easy way. Even though it looks good, from where you're sitting now, trust me, down the road, you put in the work and you pay the price, and it'll always be worth it.
I'm looking at the website, mattlight72.com. You've got lots of information about the foundation. One of the things I see in there is a celebrity shootout.
Yeah, it's with a lot of pride that we put it up there, because this is our 10th year to host the Celebrity Shootout, and it started, back again early in my career playing and taking advantage of, having a lot of great teammates that are willing to support what we do, and we created this sporting clays tournament at a world-class facility, Addyville East Farm, and we went to our good friends Ruger, and we said, hey, look, if you guys can help us out with some guns and give us a little seed money to get this thing rolling, we think we could have a heck of a thing. And 10 years later, they're still with us, as well as many other gun companies. And boy, we've raised a lot of money, and it's really afforded us the ability to grow and do the things that we do today.
Well, and now you've got a deal going where you're raising money, working with Ruger, and they're auctioning off some really cool guns.
It is. I'll tell you, relationships within the gun industry are quite unique, and it's unlike a lot of other businesses. And while there's a lot of competition, the respect shared amongst the group is unbelievable. And we've really formed a phenomenal relationship with Ruger. And they came to us this year, and they said, hey, look, we've got these Ruger auctions we do, and we'd love to be able to help you even further and help benefit, your efforts through, some very unique guns. And they have these guns that have unbelievable stories that they've had sitting in a vault. And, for anybody that's had a chance to go tour Ruger, any of their facilities, there's so much history, and it's just such a cool place to visit. And so they're going to do these. They started these auctions in March, and I think it's every couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. They're going to offer a new gun, and you can go to Ruger.com/auctions and see, these one-off, just unique guns that are for sale, and all the proceeds, 100% are going to go, to the Life Foundation throughout this time. So, we're very grateful again for this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this, and it's Ruger.com/auction. They've got a limited production GP100. It says the model 1709 revolver was never listed in the Ruger Firearms catalog or price sheets, and is likely a distributor exclusive. I mean, they've got, as you say, they got some things they kind of rummage around in the vault, and they say, hey, what's this? I don't know. Let's put it up for auction.
Yeah, and the thing to me that's so exciting is that, as a gun enthusiast, as a guy that, grew up in a household where, my father's a gunsmith, my grandfather was a gunsmith. I mean, it goes on and on. The stories behind the guns, whether they're created, after they're purchased, or in a case like this where you get the history and the story that went into the actual creation of the firearm. That's something that every time I go to a buddy's house and he opens up the vault and he breaks out something new, there's, it's no different than being in the woods chasing, turkey or deer or anything else. There's a story that goes with it, and that's something that, I think as outdoorsmen, as gun, people, we enjoy the most.
Absolutely. Well, Matt, look, I congratulate you on all the work you're doing with youngsters. It is a terrific thing that you have dedicated yourself to, you and your family, and and just want to thank you for that. But also, it's just really neat that you are incorporating the shooting sports and guns and our great companies in the firearms industry to help you out with this. And I want to just send you a huge attaboy on the whole thing.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'll tell you, it's I'm proud of everything that the people have done that have been part of our organization and all their efforts and all of our supporters and sponsors, and we're going to continue to do it. It's the right thing to do, and these young people, they'll benefit greatly from all of these these opportunities like this auction. So thanks again for your help and promoting it, and we'll keep doing what we do.
All right, we'll be right back.
Long-range shooting is challenging and fun, but most precision rifle bullets aren't right for hunting. Nosler's AccuBond LR long-range bullets are designed specifically for hunters. They combine the incredible on-game performance AccuBond bullets have delivered around the world with incredible long-range properties. High ballistic coefficients make for bullets which shoot flat and defy the winds. The sleekest, flattest shooting, bonded hunting bullet ever designed. Nosler's AccuBond LR. For more info, visit nosler.com.
A great trigger can make you a better shooter. For over 60 years, Timney triggers have been trusted by hunters and shooters everywhere. Timney triggers are proudly made in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. Installation is easy. Give yourself the Timney Trigger advantage. To see more and order online, go to timneytriggers.com. That's TIMNEY triggers.com.
The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle combines features of the Ruger American Rifle and innovations of the 1022 Rimfire Rifle to appeal to all bolt-action enthusiasts. It features a modular stock system that provides comb height options for scope or iron sight use, a power bedding integral bedding block system for outstanding accuracy, a Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, and a 1022 style rotary magazine for reliable feeding. The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
What's that?
It's my Trijicon.
What's a Trijicon?
Only the best rifle scope in the world.
Says who?
How about the U.S. Marine Corps, Special Forces, Navy SEALs? You heard of these guys?
Sure.
Well, they're all using Trijicons.
Let me see it. Wow, this is really sharp.
And a lot of professional hunters are using Trijicon, too. You probably caught it on some TV and radio shows.
Yeah, I have heard some of them swear by their Trijicon.
I swear by it.
I could have been a Navy SEAL.
Well, the closest you're going to get now is buying a Trijicon.
Hey.
Trijicon is the brand of rifle scopes that more and more hunters are swearing by. That's because every Trijicon is handcrafted using the finest optic materials. The bright aiming point can guarantee you a great hunt from dawn to dusk. Get your Trijicon at a dealer near you or visit them on the web at Trijicon.com. That's TRIJICON.com. Trijicon. Brilliant aiming solutions.
Gun Talk is honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice defending our freedom. Now, back to Tom.
All right, back with you. Tom Gresham, 866-TALK-GUN, going straight to the phones. Line 4, Walter's with us out of California. Hello, Walter. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, thank you, Tom. It's a pleasure to be on your show. The last time I spoke to you, I'd spoken about upgrading my Remington 700 to the HS Precision bottom end. Well, I got that done. and it's perfect. I did have to do a little bit of sanding and just a minor amount of filing, but that was it, and it fit right in.
Does this give you a detachable box magazine?
Yes, it does, and that takes this rifle up about 12 steps on ease of use. It's fantastic. It drops right in. It locks in snug. I took it to the range the other day, and it's a real dream now. It was good before. Now it's on the very next 2 steps level.
What caliber?
It's a 308 Winchester. I mean, a 308.
Okay. Yeah, 308 Winchester in a Remington rifle. But that is sweet. Now, so which magazines will that take?
They come with a 5, an 8, and a 10. I got the 10. And there's no clearance issues when you have it on a bipod. It fits just fine. It's not too long. And it clicks right in. This is the second generation one. Mm-hmm. And they've improved the magazine release, and it's sweet now.
Now you got me thinking. Oh, man. I've been sitting there kind of figuring out what gun do I want to get. I want to get like a 260 or a 7mm08. But you see, you could use that magazine setup on either a 260 or a 7mm08 since it's all on a 308 case. Right.
And it didn't say specifically, but I know that they do have them also for the 223, but I believe you can use the one that you just described. And I'm telling you, it's the cat's pajamas. I was out there with it, and next thing I know, I had about half a dozen people walking down there saying, "What'd you do to that Remington?" And they were really, "Hey, let me try your gun." I said, "You better bring some ammo, brother. This ammo's expensive."
Well, Walter, you may have just cost me some money, man.
Well, it's really good. Now, I also did one other thing to it. I added on a Redfield Battle Zone 3-9x42 mil-dot scope, and that's beautiful. It's extremely accurate. Optics are clear, and it also has a $45 rebate right now.
Ooh, very nice. All right. Well, look, I appreciate the range report. That is cool. I'm glad to hear. HS Precision has always had really good products, so I'm not at all surprised, but I am really glad to hear about that. Let's go to line 2. Paul's with us out of Minnesota. Hey, Paul, how you?
Good.
Good. What's up?
I just want to comment on that shooting in California. Last night when I was driving, I drive truck, and I heard what that father said. And, back 50, 60 years ago, even back in the John Dillinger and Babyface Nelson days, when they shot people, they didn't blame the gun, they blamed
the person. Yeah.
And this guy's blaming the guns, and he's blaming the NRA, he's blaming gun owners, and all I'm saying is that he's listening to the mainstream media and to the politicians, and they're the ones that are causing that problem. And I bet you he's a liberal, and he listens to all that, and he believes it, and it's like that's not a good thing.
Well, there's something else going on here. There's a psychological thing to this, and that is if you blame the person who's doing the murdering, then you have to accept that there are really bad people out there who will really hurt you for absolutely no reason whatsoever, totally random, and they will hurt you, rape you, abduct you, hold you for years, murder you, whatever, through no fault of your own. And that's a very scary thought to a lot of people. And so they don't want to go there because they don't want to live in the place where they're afraid. So what they do is they say, no, it can't be that this person is a monster. It has to be, we'll blame the NRA. Instead of blaming the guy who stabbed people to death, ran over them with his car, and then shot people, we'll blame the NRA. Now, I don't know how the NRA is responsible for the knifings, but somehow I'm sure it'll turn out that they will be. So the NRA, of course, people don't get this. The NRA is 5 million people. You, me, my wife, my son, my daughter-in-law, we're all the NRA. So they're blaming each one of us, every one of us, for the actions of this crazy person. But there is very much a defensive mechanism going on here where people, they may not be able to explain it. They may never even have thought of it. But they don't want to go to the place where they accept and acknowledge that there are truly evil people in the world, Because to do that is to say, I am not as safe as I pretend I am. I'm not as safe as this make-believe bubble I have created for myself makes me feel. And that's going to make me feel more vulnerable. And so in order to protect myself from thinking that, I will therefore blame something else. I will blame the gun. I will blame the NRA. I will blame politicians. I will blame the sun and the moon and the stars. I don't know. I'll blame something, but I'm not going to acknowledge that there are truly bad people out there. And that's how I live in my little world. Thank you. Appreciate that call, Paul. Let's see. Line 3, William's with us out of Nevada. Hey, William.
Yes, this is me.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, I have a question, sir. I bought my son a gun at a flea market / swap meet in Soddy Daisy, Tennessee, a older 38. And it said on it, all I remember is that it said detective. I think the gun was from the 70s or perhaps the early 80s. The trigger was kind of flat, held back. And it said on there, bullet, well, it said 38 long, Long. And my question is, I cannot find a bullet called a 38 long, Long. Can I use a 38 special instead? Because they seem to fit.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Does it say on the gun 38 long, or does it say on some ammunition you have? Which is
No, it said, that was my mistake. I assumed when I bought the gun. I bought the gun because the mechanism was very tight and it had been taking care of.
Right. But here's what I need to know. Does it say on the gun? The gun says 38 long on it, right?
Yes, that's what it says, sir. Yes,
okay,
it says on the bottle.
Do not shoot 38 special in it. That is not the same. A 38 special case is longer than the 38 long, but you can buy ammunition for 38 longs. Black Hills makes it, Ultramax makes it, maybe one or two others out there make it. But you only want to use ammunition that is marked 38 long in a revolver that is stamped 38 long. Now you can go the other way. If you had a 38 special, you could shoot 38 long in it. But you cannot shoot 38 special in a revolver that is stamped 38 long. That's an older, much older cartridge. So do not do it that way. So you've got a nice revolver, but only use the ammo marked 38 long in it. That's the only safe option, okay?
Tom Gresham's Gun Talk is broadcast nationwide every Sunday. If you can't hear Gun Talk where you live, call your local talk format station and clue them in on Gun Talk. Stay tuned. We're coming right back. Now broadcasting nationwide on radio, via satellite, and through downloads, iTunes, the Gun Talk app, and other podcast clients. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right, back with you, Tom Gresham. 866 Talk Gun will get you in here. I'm just looking. I actually watched a little bit of this morning when Senator Richard Blumenthal, Democrat from California, on Sunday talk shows, and he's calling for using this murderous rampage in California as a kickoff point to restart the call for quote-unquote universal, comprehensive, call it what you will, background checks. All that is a way of saying we have to kill off gun shows, and we have to kill off private sales of guns, so you couldn't sell a gun to somebody individually. You would have to go through a dealer. You'd have to get the FBI to okay every single purchase of a gun. Of course, ignoring the fact that this crazy man who stabbed these people to death, ran over them with his car, and then shot them, did 3 background checks, bought 3 guns, passed the background check 3 times. And then Blumenthal, you always got to love this. This is what they always end up saying. Quote, obviously not every type of gun violence is going to be stopped by laws out of Washington, but at least we can make a start. I'm going to urge that we bring back those bills, maybe reconfigure them to center on mental health, which is the point we can all agree. You love it. They have tens of thousands of gun control laws. And every single time they call for a new one, they say, well, you know, this may not actually do any good, but it's a good start. It's a good first step. There are, by some counts, 22,000 gun control laws in the U.S. If you've taken 22,000 steps, how's the next one a good first step? And if 22,000 gun laws have not stopped people from being crazy and killing people, what makes you think the next one is? And if you're taking all these steps and you're not there yet, what is the goal you're stepping toward? What are you marching us to? Where is it that you want us to end up? I think we don't have to ask that rhetorical question. I think we pretty much know. Line 1, Eric's with us out of Wichita, Kansas. Hello, Eric.
Hello.
How can we help you? Hey, Eric, it's Tom.
I've got a range report for you.
Outstanding.
Arms core, 22 TCM, 9 millimeter. Both barrels come in the same box, 1911 frame.
Okay.
22 TCM is its own proprietary cartridge arms core. Yes, and the interesting thing with this is they use the same magazine.
Now, can you get ammo for the 22 TCM? Who's making ammo for it?
I find it to be fairly available. I picked this gun up out in western Kansas at a small gun shop, and then here in Wichita, one of the ranges always has 22 TCM. And I found out that if you save your ammo, put it back in the box, ship it back to Arms Corps, they reload it for $13. And I don't know what shipping is. We're going to go ahead and collect up a bunch and send it all at once. And
$13 for how many rounds? How many rounds?
It's for a 50 round box.
That's not bad.
It's about, it prices out about like 45 blanket ammo.
Okay. So how do you like that pistol when you shoot 9 millimeter in it?
It shoots. It's a double stack, so it's got a bigger grip, which I like. Right. Shoots fine. Shoots as good. I shoot an XDM. I'm pretty well drive tax with my 9 XDM, and it's a little heavier, but I like it just as well.
Yeah, I like 9 millimeter 1911s. They're pretty sweet to shoot. All right, well, look, I appreciate the range report. That is cool, Eric, and thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Look, after you send brass back and have it reloaded, give me another holler and let me know how that works out, how the whole system works for you, okay? They're going to do that. Let's see. Jerome is in Layton, Utah on line 4. Hello, Jerome.
Hi.
Hey there.
Yeah, this is Jerome from Layton. Hey, that kid that did the shooting, his father, assistant director for Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the Hunger Games, what the whole deal is, you and your fellow contestants go out with weapons, and the last person survives gets to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what kind of a message is that?
Well, it's what California, what Hollywood likes to do these days. They like to play up violence and then condemn violence. We want to indoctrinate people, insulate them, basically desensitize them to violence. And then when they go out and commit violence, we're somehow shocked and surprised and saddened and all of that. I'm not, I've seen people posting about, this is what the father does. I don't really care. Look, you can have good people who have kids that turn out bad. You can have bad people who have kids that turn out pretty good. Stuff happens. And so I'm not going to lay this at the feet of the father. We call him a kid, but he's 22 years old. When you're 22 years old, you're an adult. You could have been in the military for 4 years at this point, maybe even 5 years. You are old enough to certainly know right from wrong, and in this case, here's the deal. They are going to find out there were a lot of people knew this kid was crazy, that knew this guy was nutso wacko dangerous. They're going to find out, and it's going to come forward in the next several days. You're going to hear so many reports of people who go, yeah, we knew that guy was off his rocker. Yeah. The police were called out, I don't know, several times. I'd heard 3 times. Maybe there was nothing they could do. They're constrained by the law also. But that's where you start looking. If everybody knows somebody is dangerous and crazy and there's no way to do anything about it, that's where I would be looking to change things. Not trying to tighten background checks when this Guy already went through background checks. He used California-approved, gun banner-approved magazines, 10-round magazines. He did the background check. He did everything you're supposed to do. And here's the thing. This is not about guns. He stabbed people to death, he ran over them with his car, and he shot them. He was an equal opportunity murderer. And nobody there had the means to stop him until the police showed up. And when does it stop? When does it always stop? When does it inevitably stop? When someone with a gun shows up. Time and time and time again. So the question is, I offer this thought again. Do you want to wait minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes until someone with the proper clothing shows up? Because that's what we do. We only want somebody with a gun to show up if they're wearing the proper clothing, i.e. a uniform. Would it not have been better if someone else wearing regular street clothes, that is you and me, shoots this guy, stops him? Would that somehow not have been better? How can somebody look at this and realize that's the answer here? That's the solution. You can't prevent it, but you sure as heck can stop it somewhere in the middle, somewhere short of the ultimate body count. Or you could just wait until people with the proper clothing show up, people with the approved clothing. 866-TALK-GUN, 866-TALK-GUN. Be right back.
Federal Premium Ammunition revolutionized turkey hunting with the innovative Flight Control Wad, giving you tighter patterns for more pellets on target. Choose between copper-plated lead or the Megadent Shot Heavyweight. Try the number 7 Heavyweight for maximum pellet count and bone-crushing performance. Now available in 10 and 20 gauge. Federal Premium Ammunition. Every shot counts.
TopGunSupply.com carries a large selection of fine firearms and accessories. Get all the parts you need for your Sig Sauer, HK, and Glock pistols. Grips, screws, recoil springs, sights, barrels, magazines, holsters. The list goes on. Our knowledgeable sales staff, professional service, great prices, and super fast shipping are here to help you. Check us out today. TopGunSupply.com. TopGunSupply.com.
If you carry a gun, you need training. Your concealed carry class was definitely not training. But time, money, and obligations keep you from spending days at a shooting school. The trusted folks at Gun Talk can help. Concealed Carry 1, our DVD featuring the VADA Group, covers what gun, what holster, how to carry, where to wear your gun, and much more. Visit shopguntalk.com. That's shopguntalk.com. Look, this really is life and death. Learn how to stay aware, how to get away, and how to fight if you must. At shopguntalk.com, you can get the 2 DVD set, including Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. No matter what gun you carry, this vital training info can save your life. Learn the draw, the stance, reloading, vital gear from Gun Talk. That's shopguntalk.com. shopguntalk.com.
You know the name Walther is a legendary brand, but do you know the new Walther? The new Walther has introduced 3 new precision handguns. The smooth PPQ M2 is a breakthrough in ergonomics and trigger pull. The tough PPX is a workhorse at a value price. The cool, iconic PPK S22 blends classic PPK with the fun of the economical 22 LR. There is a lot going on at the new Walther. Visit us at waltherarms.com. Walther, at your favorite retailer.
Remembering our fallen American heroes and those who have risked their lives and continue to do so for our freedom. Now, back to Tom.
All right, back with you here, going straight to the phones. Line 3, Heiko is with us out of Carson City, Nevada. Hello, Heiko.
Hello, Tom. I just had a call in about the Chipotle open carry.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, for some reason, my gut tells me that as a lawful gun owner, you wouldn't want to do that. for some reason, it seems like it's a Michael Bloomberg plant. Because
I've had several people write me and say, surely this is a plant. I don't think so. I think it was just a gift. I think that these guys are so dumb and they're so clueless when it comes to the effect that they have on the public. And they hang around with their buddies in their little forums and chat rooms, and they're all doing high fives and slaps on the back. Hey, guess what I did? I went over there and I carried my AK. I carried my SKS. Hey, cool. That's great. That's good. And they have no idea what effect they're having on the public. I think they're just that clueless, and they're just giving these huge gifts to the anti-gun people.
Well, you may be right, Tom. I just have a gut feeling because this isn't the first incident. There are small incremental incidences, whether it's Starbucks or other places. For some reason, if I wanted to carry something, obviously I carried concealed. However, I wouldn't go to JCPenney's on a sale and walk in there with a big 45 to my side, getting some underwear. I just think it's the wrong message. And for some reason, I thought most of us gun owners are smarter than that. That's all.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Evidently, hey, there's a bell curve everywhere. I guess that covers the whole deal right there, Okay, so 2's gone. All right, let's go to Kevin on line 1 in Arkansas. Hey, Kevin. Is Kelvin, is it?
Yes, sir.
All right, how you doing, Kelvin?
Just fine, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
All this negative stuff they're talking about with guns and stuff. Last weekend in Fort Smith, Arkansas, there was a gentleman and his wife come out of a building late at night. The man came up with a gun and was going to attempt to rob them. They got into this scuffle and stuff, and then meanwhile, the woman pulled her pistol out, and the man pulled his out, and they got into a gunfight, and the bad guy lost.
Yeah, the two guys with concealed carry permits, one bad guy, and the police showed up literally seconds afterwards. I mean, it really was just seconds because there were 2 cops, either plainclothes or off duty, and they showed up. And people say, well, if you use your gun, the police are going to shoot you. No, it didn't happen this time.
Yeah.
But, and one of the interesting parts of this is that the theater they were going to had no gun signs. So they were going into a theater that had no gun signs. And look, while on the one hand, I like to respect property rights, I just read an interesting thing where people say, well, you shouldn't carry at places that are posted because they have private property rights. Yeah, really? Can they tell you can't go there if you're black or if you're gay or any other group? They can't rob you of your constitutional rights there. Food for thought. I understand private property rights. At the same time, I don't think your private property rights trump my constitutionally guaranteed fundamental rights. So I just got to say, 2 thumbs up for those folks for deciding to, because here's the thing, even though this shooting did not take place, a self-defense shooting did not take place in the theater, if they had gone with the prohibition of carrying guns in the theater, they would have left them in the car or left them at home, and they would have no protection when they're in the parking lot. That's the thing that some people don't get, is that if a place bans a gun, you can't carry a gun in there, then you also can't carry it between your car and there, or maybe even from your home to there, depending on how you're getting there. So just food for thought. Let's see, line 4, Steve's with us out of Medford, Oregon. Hey, Steve. Steve, you there?
Yes, I am.
How can we help you?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking for a source for 3040 Craig brass.
3040 Craig brass.
Yeah.
Try Midway USA. I see it listed there. Let's see if they've got it in stock. Doesn't say out of stock, so it looks like they've got some at midwayusa.com.
At Midway? Okay.
Yes, sir. I would try Midway, and I would also try brownells.com, but my first thing up is Midway shows that they've got Remington brass for the 3040 Craig. Looks like $16.49 for 20 rounds of brass. Finding components, that's the deal. When you can find it, grab it. And when you find it, buy more than you think you're going to need, but you never know if you're going to be able to get it the next time you need it.
Join the NRA via Tom Gresham's Gun Talk website and receive $10 off the regular membership price. Log on to guntalk.com for details. You're listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. Just because we're wrapping up on the air doesn't mean we're done talking about guns. Stick around for the after show. It's our podcast-only version designed to include all the stuff we simply couldn't fit into a regular show. Call in now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, back to Tom.
Hey, did you hear this one? In Widefield, Colorado, an 8-year-old, Cody Smith, thought he was doing what he was supposed to do. They told him, they went outside, look up in the sky, draw a picture of what you see. Cody went outside, looked up in the sky, drew a picture. The picture was of a pistol or a handgun. 8-year-old, okay? 8 years old. Gets in trouble. Gets sent to the school administration. Gets counseling from these folks. Parents are outraged, as they should be. They're doing damage to this kid. He did what he was told to do. Draw a picture of what you see. Clouds can be anything. And, of course, you get the Widefield School District saying, our primary responsibility as a school district is to ensure safety of all staff, students, and community. So a picture drawn by an 8-year-old is scary to you? Lord. We exercised an age-appropriate reaction. What, you're 35? That's appropriate? Can't you think better than that? An age-appropriate reaction to an incident. The student's education was never disrupted, nor is this incident on the student's permanent record. Our response was in line with routine procedures. In other words, we have a policy. We followed the policy. Our butts are covered. If you don't like it, so what? We don't care. To which I respond, if you don't like it, get your butt over to the school board meeting and change it. Simple as that. Michelle's on line 3 in Tulsa. Hello, Michelle.
Hello.
So what do you think about this this shooting and people who are involved in self-defense shootings?
Well, it depends. I was listening to the case where somebody is being brutally attacked with a weapon, a knife or a gun or any type of weapon. Mm-hmm. And whether it be a family member or a bystander, and when you call the police, which they shouldn't be called when someone's being attacked. But if they don't get there in time and that person's going to get murdered right in front of somebody, I believe that if someone saves that person's life, because at the time, it takes for law enforcement to get there, sure, that they should not receive a murder or homicide or manslaughter charge for that, unless they had a history
right
of violence on their
if it's a clean self-defense shoot or you're helping somebody out, and frankly, a lot of times you don't people don't get charged, but sometimes you'll have a self-serving politician in the form of a district attorney, and don't make no mistake, a lot of district attorneys are in fact politicians, and they want to make a case, they want to get some headlines, and so they will actually either send it to the grand jury or they will charge somebody. Here's what we need. I like this idea. Michelle, try this out. How about if when somebody intervenes and they help somebody out, we come up with some kind of award, some kind of a listing of people who have had the guts to step in and save a life.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I like that idea.
Okay, good. I'm going to get to work on that. I like where you're going with this. I think we should come up with some kind of recognition, acknowledgement, somebody who had the guts to step in and save somebody. We have it in everything else, but somehow if you use a gun to do it, we can't encourage that. Yeah, we can, and we should. Step in, save a life. Help me out with this. Send me your emails, tom@guntalk.com. In the meantime, tell you what, call me right now. If you got some ideas on this, call me, 866-TALK-GUN. We're going to continue this conversation over to the after show. So we have room for you. If you want to weigh in on this concept, I've just kind of got this idea. I'd like to have your help with it. 866-TALK-GUN. In the meantime, go out and do a little shooting this week. Invite somebody to go to the range with you. Try out a new gun. And when you do, give me a call. Let me know how it goes. Be safe out there. I'm Tom Gresham. Have yourself a great week.